Are you ready to amp up your social game and have the kinds of conversations that leave people saying, "Wow, I feel like I've known you forever"? If so, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the ping pong method, a dynamic technique to help anyone craft conversational gold. Whether you're at a family reunion, a networking event, or even just chatting with friends, these tips will genuinely transform how you connect with people. Join me as we break this down into 7 engaging, actionable points. 1. The ping pong method. What is it and why does it work so well? Let's start with the basics. Imagine your conversation as a game of ping pong. Each person takes turns hitting the ball. Back and forth, back and forth. That's the ping pong method. The idea is to create an easy, natural rhythm where both people are equally engaged. Here's why it works. Most conversations flop because one person dominates the dialogue or the chatter feels flat and disconnected. The ping pong method encourages equal participation by focusing on thoughtful exchanges. Rather than just waiting for your turn to talk, we've all done it, right? You actively respond to what the other person says. For example, if your friend says, "I've been feeling so inspired by photography lately," you don't just say, "That's cool." Hit the conversational ball back. "Oh, nice! What led you to get into that?" See how easy that is? Suddenly, something small opens the door to a meaningful conversation. So, the next time you're talking with someone, think, are we both hitting the ball back and forth? 2. Active listening. The secret sauce of great conversations. You've probably heard the phrase active listening before, but what does it look like in practice? Active listening is more than just hearing someone's words. It's about being fully present, engaged, and interested in the person you're talking to. Here's the dirty secret. Most people aren't great listeners. In fact, they're often more focused on what they'll say next. But with the ping pong method, active listening is non-negotiable. Here's how to master it. Give your full attention. No sneaking glances at your phone or zoning out mid-sentence. Show you're tuned in. Use cues like nodding, eye contact, and brief affirmations to let them know you're following along. Pick up on details. If the other person mentions their cat named Sophie twice, say something like, "Sophie sounds like a character. What's her most adorable quirk?" This shows you're not just glossing over what they say. By practicing active listening, you're saying, "What you're saying matters to me." Trust me, that changes everything about how people respond to you. 3. Follow-up questions. Digging deeper without feeling awkward. Speaking of active listening, let's talk about follow-up questions. Arguably, the heartbeat of any great conversation. When someone shares something, instead of hopping to a new topic, ask a question that dives a little deeper. Let me paint a picture for you. Say you're chatting with someone who just mentioned they've been binging a certain TV show. Instead of just saying, "Oh, I need to check that out," dig deeper. What's the craziest storyline from this show? Do you think you relate to any of the characters? What do you love most about it? The plot twists or the aesthetics? See what we're doing here? With follow-up questions, the conversation goes from surface level to something engaging and memorable. Plus, it shows that you care, which is a surefire way to build trust and rapport. 4. Add a dash of humor to break the ice. Now, here's where things get fun. Humor is one of the quickest ways to connect with someone. Shared laughter creates instant chemistry, putting everyone at ease. And no, you don't need to be a stand-up comedian. Even a light-hearted comment or witty observation will do. For example, imagine you're chatting with a colleague about a chaotic office meeting. You might say, "Was it just me? Or was that like an episode of The Office?" A little humor creates a relaxed environment and makes the interaction more memorable without being forced or cheesy. But remember, humor is all about timing. If the vibe feels serious, dial it back. Always read the room, but don't underestimate the power of a well-placed laugh. It keeps the ping pong ball bouncing effortlessly. 5. The role of body language. What you say without speaking. Let's address something that gets huge results, but doesn't involve a single word. Body language. Yep, how you carry yourself while talking matters just as much as what you say. Picture this. You're talking to someone who's leaning back, arms crossed, barely making eye contact. Does that feel inviting? Not at all, right? Now imagine someone facing you, nodding, smiling, or leaning in slightly. That's the kind of energy that signals, "I'm interested in what you're saying." Here's a checklist for positive body language you can use today. Keep an open posture. No crossed arms. They come across as defensive. Relax your hands and use subtle gestures to emphasize points. Maintain steady eye contact, but don't overdo it. It should feel natural, not a staring contest. Your body language sets the tone for how comfortable someone feels conversing with you. So, next time you jump into a ping-pong-style chat, check in with what your body might be saying too. 6. Avoid these conversational pitfalls like the plague. All right, quick pause. Before you put everything into action, we need to talk about some common mistakes that can ruin even the best conversations. I call these ping-pong pitfalls. Mistake 1. Over-interviewing. Don't turn the conversation into a rapid-fire Q&A session. We're not auditioning people here. It's supposed to flow naturally. Strike a balance between asking questions and contributing your own thoughts. Mistake 2. Topic hopping. Have you ever felt confused in a conversation because someone zigzagged from sports to politics to personal drama in 5 minutes flat? That's topic hopping in a nutshell. Stick with one thread before jumping to another. Mistake 3. Making it all about you. Yes, sharing your own stories is part of the rhythm, but if every exchange circles back to your life, the conversation tilts one-sided. Bounce the ball back. Stay aware of these pitfalls, and your dialogues will feel far more balanced and enjoyable. 7. Long-term benefits. Why mastering this method changes everything. All right, now it's time to zoom out. Mastering the ping pong method doesn't just make conversations fun in the moment. It has huge long-term benefits you'll carry with you everywhere. Building deeper relationships. When people feel heard and understood, it builds trust. And let's face it, trust is the foundation of any solid relationship, whether it's with family, friends, or coworkers. Boosting social confidence. As you practice this method, you'll notice a shift in your own confidence. Suddenly, you're no longer worrying about awkward silences or missteps because you've got a roadmap for keeping the conversation flowing. Creating memorable experiences. Finally, great conversations equals great memories. Think about the chats that stuck with you over the years. They're often the ones where you felt connected, laughed, and shared some personal insights. The ping pong method helps you create moments like that, time and time again. So there you have it. 7 ways the ping pong method can absolutely transform the way you approach conversations. Whether you're trying to connect with that reserved relative or impress someone at a big social event, these tips are the ultimate game changers. Now here's my challenge for you. Take just one of these tips and test it out this week. Maybe it's leaning into follow-up questions or cracking that subtle joke to brighten someone's day. I promise you'll notice a difference. Thanks for sticking with me on this journey. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments which point resonated with you the most. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more tips like these. We've got plenty to explore together. See you in the next one.